Well, whether or not this will prove to be a hugely overwhelming advantage, we are yet to find out. Like I said on commentary today, Mr. Victor Pawa is already in the studio, and I'm about to hand it over to him as well. A lot of eyes on this one. One host nation already gone. If they end up going, it means that at least they won't be the only host nation to be eliminated, or the first. So at least there's that. Harry Kane, currently chasing 3 top scorers at the World Cup. He's only 2 goals behind, which gives you an inclination that, well, maybe, just maybe, he may catch up here with 2 goals of his own. He has 5 goals in these World Cups so far, only 2 behind Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, and the phenomenal Erling Braut Haaland. Elite company he finds himself in. But this is how exciting this World Cup has been. When you get your opportunity, put the ball in the back of the net. England will do well to go on because right now they would not be facing teams like Brazil and the likes. So, I mean, they'd fancy their chances as well. On VAR, Nicolo Gallo from Colombia. And in the dugouts for each of these 2 teams in Mexico, you have Javier Aguirre, who is a very, very experienced coach for the Mexican side, and Thomas Tuchel, who is going to take over on this one. Referee for this one, Javier Aguirre. So make sure that you guys are there for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Victor Pawa as he comes through. I'll be back at halftime to let you know what transpired, and we'll discuss everything that happened in that first half. Best of luck to both teams. Kickoff in 2 minutes.
Well, good morning from the heart of Mexico City. Match delay for an hour due to the thunderstorm a bit. But all of that is behind us now. And welcome to the Estadio Azteca. 87,523 voices, 2,200 meters above sea level, and one place is the World Cup round of 16 fixture, and a quarter-final berth on the line. This is the round of 16. England, the 3 Lions, managed by Thomas Tuchel, and beaten in the group stages, coming off a 2-1 win over DRC. And Harry Kane with 5 goals already in this tournament, looking to add to his tally already. And standing their way is Mexico L3. Javier Aguirre's side, wrought on by the home crowd. Perfect for them so far this tournament. 4 wins out of 4. Clean sheets in the group stages. Julian Quinones and Captain Raul Jimenez is the man leading the attack for them. And they've never met since that meeting back in 1966 when England beat them by 2-0 at the Wembley Stadium. The referee for this one is Fagani. The game is already underway. So welcome to Sporty 106.1 Accra, 102.5 Takrad in 91.3 Kumasi. And from the Estadio de Azteca, this is England versus Mexico. And we're just 1 minute into that particular game already. And there's a bit of a temporary hold-up in that particular game, but exciting lineup by both managers. With England, Thomas Tuchel going for a back four of Konsa, Maguire, O'Reilly, and of course Anderson and Rice will be forming that defensive midfield pair. And of course Saka, Jude Bellingham, and Godin. Of course Harry Kane leading the line. And for Mexico, it'll be Rangel who replaces the experienced Ochoa, and a back three of Gallardo, Vasquez, Montiel, Sanchez, of course Romo, Lira, Mora, Quinones, and of course Raul Jimenez and Alvarado. Mexico are clouded in their favorite home colors. It's a green top, white shorts, and a bit of a red hole for most of the players. And for England, they are in a white top, blue shorts, and it's a white hose for them. And they are playing from right to left as the ball stays with a skipper of the side for Mexico at the moment. Montiel, and he hit it also the left-hand side of the field. They'll try to look for the likes of Raul Jimenez, Alvarado. And here's Alvarado on the ball, trying to break through, beating Nico O'Reilly to it down the right-hand side. Balls go back into England, 18-yard. And the referee whistles for that one. That's a huge relief for the 3 Lions of England. And they will need to keep their eyes on Sanchez. This will be very, very, very let out down the right-hand side. A very, very good player, as well as the likes of Jude Bellingham. Today's meeting makes it 10. And England have seen a lion's share in terms of victory. There's been 6 wins for them in the previous meetings. And talking about this squad from Thomas Tuchel, he's made a few changes there because the right back position, Jerry Kwanzaa returns to play Jet Spence, who is out dealing with muscle issues. And Bukayo Saka and Anthony Godin also replaces Marcus Rashford and Noni Madueke in the starting line. So that is it for you as far as this game is concerned. Round of 16 fixture. 2026 World Cup sounds on Sporty 106.1. And my name is Victor Quao. Just 4 minutes into the game. It's England 0, Mexico 0. The Estadio de Azteca, ball currently out of play. And the Mexicans taking their time to pick it up. It looks like Gallardo quickly brings it back and finds Vasquez and sends it back to the goalkeeper, Rangel. He's got his skipper to his right-hand side on the edge of the 18-yard. Montes and Harry Kane trying to track the movement very close to the arc of the 18-yard. Harry Kane moves into the penalty box now, but ball currently out, finds Lira. He's currently out with the ball. There's Mora, back to his skipper. Mexico deciding to go centrally. Hits it from the left-hand side of the center cycle. And he picks the chap in the 23 jersey, Gallardo. Will be very, very busy. Back to Vasquez. Montes has it now, crosses the halfway line. And Mexico currency, Lions share possession. Mexico, very important place, but has been collected by Mark Gahey. Brings it out front. Looks for Jude Bellingham. Traffic of green shirts, and the referee, Fagani, blows his whistle. And that is a very cheeky touch there on Jude Bellingham. Harry Kane will complain to the referee a bit. That is a reigning referee. Will call on some of the Mexican players to get closer. And it's Lira, who has been invited by the referee. Very furious with Harry Kane. Lira not happy with Harry Kane reporting him. But again, he was a suspect when he pulled Jude Bellingham. Shot from behind. Reason why the referee decides to hot play. He ends up picking the ball. Harry Kane will force himself to take it. 6 minutes inside Azteca. World Cup round of 16 between England and Mexico. And they've been England's top scorer so far this year's World Cup final is Harry Kane with 5 goals, 2 against Croatia, 1 against Panama, and 2 against the DRC in the round of 32. And tonight, or this morning, depending on where you're listening to us from, that's Morad, one of the young chap of this Mexican side. So after 1 minute of a bit of delay in play, it has just restarted with England having it. Kwanzaa sends it on the linear line, finds McGahey. Nico Raleigh on the left-hand side now, looks for a bit of solace, finds Jude Bellingham, who sends on the way back to his goalkeeper. Jordan Pickford steps out of his 18-yard, and it goes to Kwanzaa once again. Back to Kwanzaa. England taking their time to build from the back. Here's McGahey, who crossed over from one of the best teams in England. And that's Crystal Palace, joined Manchester City. It's just some few matches to end the season, and he's already won some caps with the Citizens. Here's Nico Raleigh, that's a short pass there, looking for Jude Bellingham, picks him. He's got Anthony Gordon at his left-hand side ahead of him. There's a bit of tracking from Sanchez, pushes him into the left-hand side of the 18-yard, and ball currently out. Is going to be England's corner kick at the moment. But just look at the movement from Anthony Gordon. Was trying to get past his marker, Sanchez. Fails to direct it. As we've done 7 minutes, and it is England's corner kick from the right-hand side. As most of the players push into the box, the likes of Harry Kane, Saka, Jude Bellingham making their way into Mexico's penalty area. Already a bit of pushing between Nico Raleigh and Sanchez. Jorge Sanchez, 28 years, plays for Salonic. And there's another exciting player. As we look forward to this short corner kick that has been taken by Declan Rice, finds Saka, hits it long into the far post of Mexico's 18 ball, but forced to no white set, and it's going to rolls out for a train advantage to Mexico as Gallardo picks it up. What a tight game we've seen so far between these two sides. So far, so good. It's England with possession at the moment. McGahey will try to push the ball up front a bit. Leave it for Anderson, who decides options for his right-hand side, because Saka was just waiting to pick it. Takes the ball. England cross it very deep into Mexico's half, decides to bring it back. McGahey on the ball at the moment, running out of options, but finally he's got one in Kwanzaa. Will hit it long, upfield. Finds Declan Rice. Saka on it now. It's brought back again. Anderson. Spread to the defensive centre-backs, and this time around it's Nico Raleigh, who have just taken some few steps into Mexico's half, the left-hand side. And it's back into it again. Ball goes all the way back to McGahey, with Anderson receiving it. Turns to the far left-hand side, Gerald Kwanzaa goes to the ground there, but referee forgot you have none of that as England. Hawks onto possession. 10 minutes done at the Estadio Azteca. It's Mexico 0, England 0 in this round of 16 matchup here. And it can be a bit of tricky there from Lira, who's just swinging his body across the ball. And it was Jude Bellingham was just behind him. He goes to the ground and shows the ball, crosses a sideline, and it's going to be a train advantage for the Three Lions. As Gordon lifts it for Nico Raleigh to pick, very vertical to Mexico's penalty box. Harry Kane draws a bit closer. And that's a brilliant way to defend that one. Yes, Lira, who pushes his back a bit. That is Anthony Gordon, pushes him a bit just to make way for the ball to rush beyond the bar line for Mexico goal kick. And some of the dignitaries Also present at the stadium, FIFA president Gianni Infantino have been very, very present throughout this entire competition at most of the venues to have a glimpse of the game. 11-minute Mexico pouring in for it. Looks to be Yari Jimenez calling for the ball out front, but to go to Romo. Let's go the likes of Quinones ahead of him. And he's been one of the men that Mexico be relying upon heavily this morning to see if they can unsettle this England's defensive play. That's a very poor play there, and it's picked up by O'Reilly. Gallardo wins possession back for Mexico. Montes hits it back into the center cycle because Aurelia was just ready to receive it. Goes on to Vasquez. Back to Lira. Lira looking for a bit of space inside England's half. 37 meters. There's Mexico away. Alvarado goes back to his skipper. Montes left inside of England's center cycle circumference. Montes again finds Alvarado. That's a long whip inside England's 18-yard, and it's straight into the arms of Jordan Pickford, who picks it up. He's got no troubles looming at all. That's England. Look to restart all the way from the back again, and this time around it's Konsa, who finds his centre-back partner and finds Mark Gahey. Here's Nico O'Reilly. Jude Bellingham now drop a bit onto the left-hand side. And it's a bit on the flanks, just running everywhere because coach Thomas Tuchel has given him that opportunity to do a bit of roaming work this morning. And interestingly, Mexico have never lost a game here. There's been 4 wins out of 4 for them. And so here, indeed, it's a dangerous den to break for England. But in terms of the statistics, it's England who really is having a good one. It's a long ball there, looking for Saka, gets a foot to it, but straight into the arms of Rangel, who's just very close to the ball on the edge of the 18-yard there. But what a looping pass there to find Saka, who was just miles beyond Montes, their centre-back. And it's 13 minutes. Montes, long whip, looking for the likes of Quinones. Can he get there? It's a big run. But Saka once again at the right place to ensure that Gallardo do not get past him. And he's very furious, I guess, with some of his colleagues there who felt that they should have just helped him in that situation. And also furious at the decision of the referee because the ball crossed the line. And he was just a bit animated about the decision, the final decision of the referee, feeling that he should have stayed on the turf. But the referee has got other ideas as England has got the ball onto the rectangle of the 18-yard. And it's a long whip up front in search of one of the big men up front. Certainly it's going to be Jude Bellingham. They will not pick him. Picks Lira. Mexico very deep in their half now, trying to string passes together. Quinones brings it back, finds Gallardo. Finds the skipper Montes. And it's a bit of chasing from Jude Bellingham. Harry Kane just walking pace in the game, looking on as Saka and Jude Bellingham do a bit of chasing. Romo enjoying himself at the far left-hand side. Vasquez stretch the ball across the playing surface to find Sanchez down the right-hand side here. Here's Mexico coming forward. He's got Alvarado ahead of him. Alvarado swings in the corner. Oh, that's a big one there onto the very near post there. But crosser woodwork. Raul Jimenez once again. That's a lovely hits there from Sanchez there. And Jordan Pickford very right to have gone down to his very left-hand side in order to prevent that one. And Mexico has got a corner kick looming from this one. 15 minutes down as the Stadio Seca. It's Mexico 0, England 0, round of 16. What a game we've seen here. World Cup sounds on Sporty 106.1 Accra, 102.5 Takrady, 91.3 Kumasi. Alvarado switches the ball inside. And there's a bit of touch there. Looks to be a very hot one against the body of Jude Bellingham, who went onto the ground. Looks to have hit his face. And it's up on his feet. And another corner kick having conceded by the Three Lions here. What a moment to have it. Alvarado is whipped inside. Is headed out. There's a bit of chase from the skipper from Lira. Oh, pick the broken pieces. Goes back to his goalkeeper Rangel, who is out of his 18-yard. Halfway inside his territory. Options for his left inside. And it's Gallardo picks it up. It's rather Quenunez who comes into the fray, receives it again. Mexico's top scorer at this year's World Cup final so far. Julian Quenunez. And what a player he's been so far for them. Very, very important addition. And he plays his club football at Al Quadesa. Yeah, and so far so good for him. For a 29-year-old player, as we've done 60 minutes. With a big upset earlier on in that round of 16 fixture between Norway and Brazil. Well, Norway running away with that encounter. Quite shocking, isn't it? Morocco also beating Canada. And Egypt also beating Australia. So it's been a very, very exciting matchup we've seen so far in his round of 16 as Jerry Kwanzaa goes onto the ground from that touch from Quenunez at the left-hand side of the England half. And the referee Fagani once again blowing his whistle, just trying to stamp his authority on this game so far. Jerry Kwanzaa not to be excited about that touch on him. And he's been one of the youngsters of this England national team. 23 years, plays for Bayer 04 Leverkusen in the German Bundesliga. But again, it has to take Jordan Pickford to spread to his very near left-hand side to prevent that ball from finding the back of the net. Yes, that was a very, very dangerous hit. And Mexico just nearly stole the show inside 15 minutes. We'll talk about Mexico themselves at this year's World Cup final. Beats South Africa by 2-0 in the first Group A opener. Go with goals coming from Julian Quenunez and Raul Jimenez. Also added South Korea to it. Just 1-0. And that's Luis Romo with that 50th minute strike. Beat Czechia by 3-0. And of course the round of 32 beats Ecuador 2-0. And again it's Quenunez and Raul Jimenez who combines to deliver the very important one for the L3. And here's the man I was talking about, Quenunez. Release the ball with his right foot back because he's seen Lira into that plenty of space here. Mexico breaks into England's 18-yard ball, forced away, and Saka runs to retrieve the ball. 18 minutes. And what a game we're having. Jerry Kwanzaa with a huge boot up front. The ball stays inside his half. Bounces off the ground. And it's picked up by Lira because there's a foul situation. That's going to be a free kick for the Three Lions as we've done 19 minutes. Montes complaining to the referee. Not very excited about some of the decisions so far of this Iranian official. And the skipper of the side will lead by example. Cesar Montes plays for Lokomotiv Moscow in the Russian league. And so far have been very, very important to this L3's World Cup dreams. Jordan Pickford out of his area. 5 meters on top of the 18-yard, where he takes it to 23 meters. And that could be a bit dangerous. But here he is, 20 meters out. Lifts it for McGahey, who is very central. Goes onto his left-hand side and picks Godin. Godin, yes, a big run. Godin versus Sanchez. Godin breaks into the left-hand side of the ball. Releases one back and is blocked by Lira. What a game is Lira is having so far for Mexico. Not just giving any breathing space to the England winger. He's trying to just use a bit of a tricky. The Newcastle man having a bit of quality time down the left flank. And once again, I've given Thomas Tuchel's side a huge corner kick advantage. 20 minutes done at the Estadio de Azteca. It's England 0, Mexico 0. As England prepares to effect this corner kick from the left-hand side. And it's Declan Rice, the Arsenal man, who take this one. Lost it over! And again, that's a perfect header there. But not just perfect enough to break Rangel's goal post. And it's coming from McGahey. Sandwiched by lots of the Mexican players on the edge of the 6 yard. And it will really struggle to find a quality head to it. But they've got a merit here. It's going to be a trade advantage with Alvarado. Just standing in front of Nico O'Reilly. That's a poor throwing thick in there. He was in search of Jude Bellingham. And the ball rather ends up crossing the bar line. Thomas Tuchel, very furious on the touchline, asking so many questions of his players, telling them, what exactly are you doing? I need you to be on top of the game. Because Nico O'Reilly, that's throwing taken by him, very, very porous there. Can leave so many questions to be answered. So far, so good. And in terms of the stats, it's 50-50. In terms of possession by the side, but in terms of shot, it's Mexico that have played 3 shots so far, with none on target. And one save coming from England. 21 minutes. And it's Alvarado lifts the ball for Mora. Crosses the halfway line, finds Lira. Lira goes back to Vasquez. There's Montes. Left inside for Vasquez, who have pushed himself very deep into England's half. Left inside, Quentinez. Players stay on the turf, and once again it's Fagani. Who will ensure that there's a bit of discipline on the field of play. So it is Jude Bellingham was trying to control the ball with the back of his boots. So we're in for the hydration break at the moment. And that's going to be 3 minutes of hydration break. And you know, the biggest football festival on the planet is here. And Sports FM is bringing you closer to every moment of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And you've got to join us for Training World Cup coverage, expert analysis, exciting giveaways, unforgettable viewing parties, and selected locations across the country. Whether you are cheering for Ghana or your favorite international team, or simply enjoying the beautiful game, Sports FM is your home of the World Cup. And this exciting World Cup experience is proudly brought to you by our valued partners, Coca-Cola, Fill It All, Pepsodent, Do the Two, Brush Day and Night, Club Beer, Cheers to Achale, Didi Jollof, Didi, Nensa Brabium, Hendy Farms, More Than a Farm, Ghana's Mango Elevated, From Farm to the Table, and then European Union supporting community engagement and youth participation through sports. Well, we are encouraging you at Sports FM not to miss our World Cup viewing parties, where fans will gather to watch the biggest matches live on giant screens and enjoy music, entertainment, giveaways, and exciting interaction from our sponsors. Keep listening to Sports FM for updates on viewing parties, venues, match schedules, promotions, and opportunities to win amazing prizes. The FIFA World Cup 2026 on Sports FM, the world's greatest football tournament, on Ghana's biggest sports station. Sports FM, the voice of sports. So, talking about this game so far in terms of the stats, and just reminding you that we've gone for the hydration break, unless to allow the players, due to the adverse weather conditions, unless to have a bit of sip and also have that time with their managers. And so far at this tournament, we've seen that it's during this hydration break, after the hydration break, most of the teams, their momentum in terms of play really is impacted. So in terms of total shot on target, it's been 3 for Mexico, 0 for England. With Jordan Pickford having 1 save so far in this game. In terms of corners, it's been 2 apiece. And again, Mexico causing a lot of fouls in this game, as many as 5. With England just conceding 1 foul. And in terms of passage, it's Mexico that have proved that they are superior with 104, with just 92 for the 3 Lions of England. And so far, no shot off target. As we get ready to return from the hydration break with Jude Bellingham having that chit shot with Javier Aguirre, the manager for the L3. Perhaps is impressed by the way Jude Bellingham plays. So we are back from that hydration break. And it's Jordan Pickford with a long whip up front in search of Anthony Gordon. Can he hacks onto it, managed to keep the ball on the tap. Beat Sanchez to it. Brilliant. One breaks into the box. Go for the grind out there. And that's a poor decision because Bukayo Saka was just near it. the 6 yard of the Mexicans there, and I was thinking he should have just taken his time to find his colleague, but he decides to go for glory. Long whip inside the left-hand side of the Mexican penalty box, and a very feeble one at that, and Mexico survives it. Bit of chase here, and England's territory. Konsa falls his marker. Rather, Yao Jimenez in that brawl with Konsa, and Konsa wins the challenge, wins the sympathy of the referee, and it's going to be England's free kick. Quickly taken by Mark Gehi. The referee puts the whistle to his mouth, blows it, and asks them to take time, and we take that one. So in terms of attempt at goal, so far it's been 3 for Mexico, just 1 for England, and it's been 1 at pace in terms of the number of the attempts that have been on target for either side, as England goes long to the left-hand side in search of Godin, while Boss falls behind him and rolls out. That's a long whip from Nico Raleigh. And just thinking, what is a youngster really doing? Struggling a bit into this outing. Nico O'Reilly. But England have got so many options on their bench, likes of Marcus Rashford. Ball currently in the center cycle. He'll challenge. Jude Bellingham wins it. Brings it back to Anderson. Konsa straight to Harry Kane. Very central in midfield. Drop very deep, but it's a bit of chase from the Mexican Romo. England has it back. Jude Bellingham goes onto the turf. Referee waits on an advantage. Romo. Alvarado. And here's Sanchez. Mexico coming for it from the left-hand side. They decide to drift into midfield. A bit of twisting and turning once again from the man in the 25 shirt. Alvarado. The final touch from Raul Jimenez, and Jude Bellingham has it. It's won by Sanchez in England's half. Spreads the ball onto the left-hand side. Big movement again, but a bit of miscommunication. The ball currently just dangling out. And again, you can understand the frustration on the face of Mora. A bit disappointed that his teammate Alvarado couldn't be at the end of that short pass. What a game we're having. 28 minutes inside the Estadio Azteca. It's Mexico 0, England 0. And so far, it's Mexico that have come very close to finding the back of the net. Jude Bellingham, that's a huge challenge from Sanchez. And the ball rushes out because Anthony Godin very close to the halfway line. And a lot of activities are happening. But 2 players stay on the turf. It's Sanchez and Jude Bellingham. And once again, Lira, very furious, saying some things out on the referee. Fagana is not excited about it and would have to halt the game to issue a bit of warning to him that he needs to be very careful, else he'll get into the wrong side of his book. So it's Sanchez who just bumped inside onto the waist of Jude Bellingham, who went off onto the turf from that challenge. 30 minutes. And so far it's been very quiet between these two teams. Now what a game we've seen so far. Harry Kane have been a bit quiet up front, and they need to find a way to spark on his scoring boots. It's been very quiet. And again, lots of credit going to Gallardo, Vasquez, Montes, and Sanchez, the back line of Mexico, who have done a good job in terms of keeping him at bay. Saka goes to the ground, tried to spread his leg to keep the ball on the turf, but couldn't do that. But Romo have it for Mexico. Ball stays on the halfway line, goes to the left-hand side from Montes, left to Vasquez, back to Montes inside the center cycle. Lira, very close to the halfway line, goes back to his keeper. Montes now finds Lira. Nunez down the far left-hand side. It's a killer side into the channel. Konsa whips the ball out with his back foot. Declan Rice keeps it on the turf because Lucas Moura was chasing it there. And Mexico have a throw-in from that poor play from the English players. Nunez with a bit of drain. Montes goes central, finds more Romo. Yes, onto the right-hand side now. It's Alvarado. Back to Vasquez. Vasquez in Mexico's 5 jerseys. What a game is having so far. 30 minutes done. And it's Montes, very lanky. And he's got a height. You know, I'll be telling you about Cesar Montes' height so far. 1.9 meters tall. It tells you that's the height of the Mexican skipper. Lifts the ball for Vasquez. Goes onto his left-hand side. England chasing shadows at the moment as Mexico can't fall away this one. And again, Lucas Moura trying to chase his sends. Declan Rice to the bar line. He wins it, brings it back. Nunez finds Romo. Romo lights out the shots there, but it's just way off the target. And Jordan Pickford very furious with his back line for giving Romo that plenty of space, just 23 meters out there. And then he just put his foot very deep under the ball there and lifted very wide off the mark and straight into the crowd. But that is ambitious kick there from Romo. And they need to take advantage of such chances. Luis Romo, 30 years, played for Guadalajara. And it's one of their players together with the man who is leading their line today. And here is England winning advantage. Anderson finds Godin. Right hand side, Nico Raleigh tries to break away from Alvarado. Hangs onto the ball a bit, but the referee once again spotting something. Whistles for an England advantage. Quickly taken. McGahey has got the likes of Anderson ahead of him. Harry Kane also around the center cycle. And he's being guided by Vasquez. Saka out wide on the right hand side. As they look on, as the Three Lions try to come through the middle. This time around it is Jero Konsa who brings it back to Konsa. And here's Konsa. Trying to push the ball for it. They finds McGahey. England staying within their own half and just exchanging passes to get us within 32 minutes at the Stadio Azteca. A stadium that I've seen so much World Cup finals, one of the greatest venues in terms of world football. Nunez. And it's Jero Konsa who hosts his way, but Nunez managed to break away from him, release the ball to Vasquez, a center cycle. Montes now, Sanchez will have it. And it's going to be another run from Sanchez. Lifts it for Alvarado. Scans the area. Lift it for Romo. Back to Sanchez here. England has a bit of touch from Nico Raleigh, but the men in green, Lira have it for Mexico. Puts the ball on the circumference of the center cycle. Pushes it up from 3 meters into England's half. What a game we're having so far. And England have been pushed back into their defensive shell or defensive mode as Mexico takes the game to them. So far, so good. 17 appearances for Mexico in terms of the World Cup, making their debut back in 1930. And since 2010, when they were scored by, when they drew with South Africa, they've been present at Brazil 2014, Russia 2018, Qatar 2022, and here they get to host it at one of the 3 countries. And so far, it's been a great record for them. 8 goals so far in this tournament. As Nico Raleigh picks the ball up, it's going to be England's throwing. So far, so good in terms of play from these 2 teams. And interestingly, today's meeting is the first ever knockout game between these 2. They have never met at a knockout phase before. The only time they met was back in July 1966, 60 years apart here. And here's Nunez who hacks onto the ball for Mexico on the edge of England's 18 and brings it back to his left back. And certainly that is the big man up front. There's Gallardo. Here's Alvarado for Mexico. Finds Sanchez. There's a bit of tracking from the likes of Nico Raleigh. Alvarado decides to get himself in trouble because he decides to bring it onto the right-hand side. Jude Bellingham chasing it, lifts for Montes, who goes long into the center cycle. And he picks Vasquez. And interestingly, it's just Montes who's the only Mexican player. Long one delivered, and Jordan Pickford picks the ball very close to the penalty area. And once again, is a full man that was being searched for. Raul Jimenez, Declan Rice with a long race at the right-hand side. Goes onto his left, find Saka. Saka at the right-hand side of the Mexican 18-yard. Can he Gallardo beats him, breaks in, and it is in. That is the first goal. Jude Bellingham with England's goal here. 36 minutes inside the Stadio Seca. And it is the Real Madrid man that heads the ball onto the right-hand side of Rangel. And the Three Lions take their first lead. What a game. And he celebrates the way Jude Bellingham loves to celebrate. Opens his arm onto the air and watches the fan. What a game. Textbook header. But a lot of credit to Bukayo Saka. Great movement by him. Looks to be constant. Declan Rice with the first control. Senses the right-hand side. Picks Bukayo Saka. Down the right-hand side of the Mexican half. Saw the round of Jude Bellingham. Chips the ball over. And he beat the likes of Montes. Enemy Vasquez there. Harry Kane couldn't have a touch. But forced to the head of Jude Bellingham. Textbook header. Rangel beating. And England do have the lead in this round of 16 fixture. What a moment. And his hard work so far paid in the game. 37 minutes. And we've just got 7 minutes left in the first half of this game. And again, there's a bit of history to it. Because I told you the only meeting between Mexico and England at the World Cup final was back in 16th July 1966. But I'm going to beat England here again. And the second goal. And guess who has it now? It's Jude Bellingham. A brace for him. And it's under 2 minutes already. And the Real Madrid man. Mexico loses focus. And England takes advantage. Oh, what a way. What a way. The English fans cannot believe their eyes. Lots of controversies ahead of the game because the England players were not allowed to rest enough. Because the Mexican fans were just loitering around their hotel, making them not to sleep. But it looks like England are revenging for all of those scenes ahead of the game. Once again, it comes off the leg of Harry Kane. It's a ground ascent across, beats the three, Montes, Alvarado, and Vasquez, and meets the left leg of Jude Bellingham. Tap home. And Rangel bets into it, sends the ball to the middle of the post. And Thomas Tuchel runs, celebrate with his backroom staff. And Jude Bellingham edges the crowd on. And then we've got game on. For the first time in this tournament, Mexico's backline have been breached. And it's the Real Madrid man, Jude Bellingham, with those very quick goals there to give the English that important lead. This year's World Cup final. 2023-2024 Ballon d'Or nominee, Jude Bellingham. And so far it's been good for him this year's tournament. And in terms of joining a very reserved list of players who have scored against Mexico at the World Cup finals, he joins the likes of Bobby Charlton and Roger Hunt, who got those 2 goals against Mexico back at Wembley when manager Alfred Ramsey was in charge. But this time around, or this night, or this morning, it is not Alfred Ramsey, it is Thomas Tuchel who is in charge of them. So the ball came off the hand of Saka, and it means that England will concede a free kick. Very left-hand side of their box, and looks to be so many miles away from the mouth of the Three Lions goal mouth. Almost 42 meters out. And the likes of Raul Jimenez will be joining the final third because Alvarado is the one to take this one. They're still leaning on the halfway line. He's whipped inside, he's dealt with. And there's a big run from Jude Bellingham, with advantage. Goes past Gallardo. Lucas Moura trying to track it. Jude Bellingham will not give up. He decides to find Anderson, who finds Godin. A bit of pushing from behind. And he wins the sympathy of the referee. Quinn Nunez is the culprit. 40 minutes. Mexico 0, England 2. World Cup sounds on Sporty FM 106.1 Accra, 102.5 Takrady, 91.3 Kumasi. And what a way for Ghana's group opponent, England, currently having a tournament of their life. Mexico looking for the consolation before the halftime break. And it's Gallardo. Ball is blocked. Or the shot having blocked by Bukayo Saka. The ball stays on the top left inside of the penalty box. Finally, there's a bit of push there, and the referee Fagani blows his whistle for it. Bukayo Saka not just happy that he complains to the referee. There's been a good work so far from the referee. As Mexico once again will fancy their chances this time around, very acute to the penalty box of the English team. And again, guess who is the man in the 25 shirt? Will be letting himself to take it. That's Averaldo. And they get behind the ball, pushes so many men out front. The only player outside of the 18-yard. It is Lira. Ball stays inside there. Referee, what is he saying? And it is in. Mexico push one back. And it is Quenunez with his 4th goal of the tournament for the Mexicans. And I told you, it is so difficult to really match up the play of Mexico at this ground. But however, England has still got a lead. 42 minutes in this round of 16 clash. It's Mexico 1, England 2. And so far, so good. Oh, the free kick was delivered from the right-hand side. Lose most of the England players and forced to the feet of Quenunez, who was left in plenty of space inside the 18-yard. And he just had to volley the ball. And Jordan Pickford, middle of the post, and the ball rafts the nets. So far, so good. The Mexican fans at this time. Well, we're hoping to get their voice back. At least they are within reach as far as this game is concerned. 43 minutes, ball is currently out. Quenunez with the final touch, but came off. Joe Kwanzaa. So 4 goals for him this year's World Cup. 5 World Cup appearances so far for him. And I must tell you, he will be on the radar of most of the top clubs across Europe. Harry Kane quiet tonight. Joe Kwanzaa picks up the ball. It's going to be a long showing. And you know, this is World Cup. There's 5 minutes countdown. If you delay, it's given to your opponent. But here's Mexico once again very central to the England half. That's bits the press there. Romo, and the ball crosses the bar line. 43-minute protesting for a corner kick by the referee. We'll have none of that. That's Sanchez, and he was impeded by Nico O'Reilly. The talented Nico O'Reilly, who plays for Manchester City. And he's also equally having a tournament of his life. As Jordan Pickford gets ready to launch this one deep. And there's a deep one into the half of the Mexicans. There's a bit of header from Anderson, finds Jude Bellingham. Oh, leave it for Joe Kwanzaa, brings it back to Kwanzaa. McGahey, Nico O'Reilly, but he decides to go back to Kwanzaa. Left hand side, Joe Kwanzaa waiting for it, it's being whipped up front. Quenunez has it for Mexico, brings it to Lira. Here's Gallardo, flips the ball, forced at the back of the Declan Rice, who managed to get his leg to it, put it out of danger. What a game we're having so far, 44 minutes here. And Mexico are not just backing down as we do 5 minutes of additional time here at the Estadio Azteca. World Cup round of 16 fixture here on Sporty. That's another ball, very loose ball inside England's half, that is tipped away onto the left foot of Alvarado, 101. With England's number 8, Anderson. He was just forced the throw-in of that challenge. Sanchez picks it up. The right back for Mexico is going to be a long whip. It's brought back to Montes. Cesar Montes onto his left-hand side, finds Lira. It's another diagonal hit in search of Quenunez on his chest. Oh, it just rolls across the face of goal. Ambitious hit there from the Fulham man, Raul Jimenez. But the ball bounces off the ground, and Jordan Pickford, what to say, they're very lucky. And then it end at the back of the net. And Raul Jimenez will watch the screens as to get applause from all over the stands there, especially the Mexican fans really enjoying what he's saying. As Saka chases down, it's a quick action. The flag is up. We've done 1 minute of the time that I've been added on. But here was the moment. Mexico really found that opportunity to pull one back there. Excellent free kick from Alvarado. And the England defenders just watching around, failing to mark the likes of Montes and Quenelles, and he punished them. But the whistle have been blown again by Fagani. And in terms of match momentum so far, it's been Mexico's showmanship. Despite conceding, they've been very impressive in terms of how they recover anytime they lost the ball. 61%. As England is doing a bit of defending here. So Harry Kane will approach the referee. Fagani complains to him because there's one of the players that is on the turf at the moment, an English player. And once his face flashes on the screen, looks to be Bukayo Saka. He was pushed from behind. Gallardo, the left back, who pushes his opponent, Bukayo Saka, from behind. Gallardo has it onto his left-hand side. Finds Sanchez, back to Gallardo, another whip into the tunnel there. Oh, it will need the hands of Jordan Pickford to turn it away. Brilliant delivery. And once again, guess who is the man troubling England's defensive line? Raul Jimenez. Momentum of the game definitely skyrocketing at the moment. And you know what? In terms of height, you do not take Raul Jimenez for granted, isn't it? He's really got a very perfect height to deal with those balls. 1.88 meters tall. So just tells you of his quality, the 30-year-old. 3 minutes of the 5 minute that have been added have been done. It's just left with less than 1 minute to go. Ball has the ground. Equalizer. Oh, Montes far post and fails to bury it home. And they have a corner kick. Jude Bellingham once again blocking that ball. Quality delivery into the channel there. Clever eye. Finds Lira in Pentio space. Just tap the ball to his keeper, Montes. Cesar Montes, but again, it was Jude Bellingham was very close to him and would have to quickly interfere with it. Mexico, the El3 doing everything possible to get himself back in this tie before we head into the dressing room. But so far, it's been very difficult. Mora with a delivery. There's a bit of touch from Montes because it's got the height. And ball is turned away, other way around, and it's current Rose up for a train advantage. It's going with Mexico's throwing. Few seconds of the 5 minutes that have been added left. And Mexico are currently, the players currently jogging back into possession, the likes of Montes, Alvarado. And here's Montes having served very close to the halfway line. Left it for Alvarado. Hits it with his left leg, finds Sanchez. It's brought in feet. Lucas Moura changes pace of play. There's a grass cutter to find Vasquez, who goes onto his left-hand side for Gallardo. Quenelles cancels to the fray, Romo. Quenelles now has it. Trying to drift away from Bukayo Saka. Drifts away from him. Mexico brings it back. Gallardo. Lira. Few seconds left on the clock. Montes. 42 meters inside England's half. Changes pace of play onto the left flank. Quenelles is going to be another delivery to the channel there for Sanchez to pick up, but managed to get the ball onto his chest. But Nico Rallis ahead of him, managed to get his left leg to it, and Sanchez pushes him, goes to the ground, and referee blows his whistle. It's England advantage. And that's Anthony Gordon, who have just managed to magnify himself ahead of Sanchez. And so far, what a game we've had between these two sides. It's quality upon quality. The likes of Quenelles having a bit of chit-chat. So it's half-time at the Stadio Azteca. A round of 16 fixture between England and Mexico. And it is halftime. Mexico 1, England 2. As the players walk towards the dressing room, and certainly you know that Thomas Tuchel is going to be a bit of angry at some of the circumstances under which they came under pressure in this particular game. But don't go anywhere, because there'll be a bit of interaction with you at this halftime. Winston, my man, will be back here to engage you.
What a game, ladies and gentlemen. If you are somewhere in front of a television set, man, are you enjoying yourself? When you get two incredible countries playing some scintillating football, both ends of the pitch, you would definitely enjoy yourselves. 2-1 to the English, and what a game it has been. It has been the Jude Bellingham show. Oh, wow. We've been enjoying ourselves here in the first half. Can you believe it? If you're listening to even the way that I'm speaking, it's as if I'm in the game myself. Maybe vicariously living through some of these incredible players, as it were. Wow, what a game, what a game, what a game. There's not much I can really say about it, but we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. But before we go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest football festival on the planet is here, and Sporty FM is bringing you closer to every moment of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Join us for thrilling World Cup coverages, expert analysis, exciting giveaways, and unforgettable viewing parties at select locations across the country. Whether you're here to cheer for your favorite international team or simply enjoying the beautiful game, Sporty FM is your home of the World Cup. The exciting World Cup experience is brought to you by our valued partners, Coca-Cola, Feel It All, Pepsodent, Do the Two, Brush Day and Night, Club Beer, cheers to our Chale Didi, Jollof Didi, Nasam Brebium, Handy Farms, more than a farm, Ghana's mango, elevated from farm to table, the European Union, supporting communities, engagements, as well as youth participation through sports. Don't miss out on the World Cup viewing parties, though, where fans will gather to watch the biggest matches live on giant screens, enjoy music, entertainment, giveaways, exciting interactions from our sponsors, etc. Now, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is the world's greatest football tournament on Ghana's biggest sports station, Sports EFM, the voice of sports. It's been the Jude Bellingham show. 2 goals in 100 seconds. And even Thomas Tuchel is ecstatic. We'll talk about that and the Mexican resolve here in a moment. Now, the biggest tournament is here. We've been talking about it, and the biggest deals are also here from Sinclair Tech from June 13th to July 25th, 2026. Enjoy amazing discounts on Apple products, Androids, laptops, gaming consoles, home appliances, accessories, and much more. Looking to upgrade your iPhone, Android device, get a new MacBook, grab a PlayStation, or refresh your home with quality appliances? This is the perfect time to shop and save. Visit Sinclair Tech today and take advantage of our special World Cup discount sales, quality products, unbeatable prices, and great customer service all in one place. Visit us on or at our on location there at School Junction, Ashalibuche, close to the School Junction. Just Sinclair Tech on Google Maps will get you there. Call or WhatsApp us now on 0549 462 550. Follow us on social media at Sinclair Tech _ Sinclair Tech, your trusted destination for technology and electronics. Sinclair Tech will elevate your life. Do the 2 before you go to bed. Remember that. I'll tell you why, though. In football, you do not reach the World Cup final without discipline, and when it comes to your smile, the rules are the same. World-class defense isn't built in a day. It's built by brushing morning and night. Because every meal is a snack attack, especially with the World Cup games at dawn and midnight, as you can tell, right? Without the right defense, germs will score in your mouth. That's why Pepsodent brings you the limited edition World Cup toothpaste. Choose your defense variant. Fresh breath, all-day confidence, antibacterial for fighting germs, and plaque removal for a cleaner, stronger smile. Get the Pepsodent World Cup limited edition today, available at supermarkets and shops nationwide. The World Cup season, Pepsodent says, when it comes to the oral health, fun a World Cup. Jose Mourinho will certainly be excited watching that one, seeing his midfielder just boss up this matchup right here. I'm sure he can't wait to get a hold of him in that Real Madrid ranks. Real Madrid fans smiling from ear to ear. What a player Jude Bellingham is. Sweat, passion, and a fierce resolve for never backing down is what Mexico are showing us despite going down 2-0. Charlie, when it gets intense, you know you have no choice but to rise to the occasion with passion and with vim. That's what Mexico is trying to do. And with 72-hour protection, Rexona gives you can fight for what you want and what is yours. On and off the pitch, choose Rexona. Choose protection that moves with you. What a game this one has been, and I'm sure lots of people are spilling over their club beer in excitement. Before you do that and enjoy the refreshing taste, check underneath the crown cork. Don't throw it away. You could instantly win a brand new club beer absolutely free. Whether you're cheering with the boys, watching your favorite sport, or repping your team in style, Club Beer's got you covered. So grab your Club Beer today. Check under the crown cork and you could be the next winner. Follow Club Beer social media pages for more details and updates. Drink responsibly, not for persons under the age of 18 years. Not recommended for pregnant women. This ad is FDA approved. Now, Ghana, it is time to feel it all. If you're looking for the place to catch all the FIFA World Cup action, then you should be at the Coca-Cola Football Village at Good Park, Arena Mall. Watch all your favorite matches live with fellow fans. Enjoy high-energy vibes, music, entertainment. Dive into interactive fan zones and fun experiences. Plus, stand a chance to win amazing giveaways from epic watch parties to unforgettable match energy. This is where Ghana comes together to celebrate the beautiful game. So bringing your crew together, bring the energy and pull up to the Coca-Cola Village. Because this World Cup, you don't just watch it, you feel it all. What a game it has been, and wow. We're in for quite the second half as well. For 30 minutes, it didn't look like there was any goals going to be happening, and then the Jude Bellingham show began. Despite England holding just 37% of the possession, like Jose Mourinho says, you can have the possession. I'll take the 3 points. That is what England have done today. They've been instrumental. 2 big chances, 2 goals, compared to Mexico's 1 big chance in which they converted from that man there. 4 goals in 5 matches. Quinones keeping the Mexicans in this one, giving them a bit of life. 7 shots they had in that first half as compared to England's 3. But like I said, England have been clinical. They haven't had much, but what they have, they've converted. 4 corners to England's 2. 8 fouls to England's 3. You can clearly see the tempo of the game right there. 245 passes for the Mexicans in comparison to 148 for England. That midfield was in hell for about 30 minutes until they figured something out. 2 goals in 100 seconds. And a big shout outs going out to Arsenal's Declan Rice, that duo, Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka, for creating that first goal right there. Big ups to Declan Rice, by the way, who got a yellow card within the first 10 minutes. Looked very bleak and scary right there. But he's managed to do quite well for himself in this game. Coming alive. Jordan Pickford coming up trumps Jimenez. Testing Jordan Pickford from near, far, and far away, man. And yes, Jordan Pickford has been up to the task. I have a feeling the second half will be more of the same as the first. But Mexico have to be very, very careful in pursuit of the equalizer. They could be vulnerable in the back for England to pounce and seal this one. Right now, it looks like things are playing right into the hands of the English. And of course, when it gets to a certain time, if the scoreline remains the same, you just know the English will try to defend and see it out. Thomas Tuchel, one of the greatest tournament coaches, is on the verge of marching on in the very intimidating Azteca, Mexico City. That's where it's all going down. What a game this one has been. Most of it played in the England half. But you wouldn't know it if you checked the scorelines. Well, they are winning the duels, the British. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these are what's important. 61% of the duels they're winning, just by being overrun in midfield. A little lapse in that midfield for the Mexicans, and they were caught wanting twice in 100 seconds. Despite the scoreline being 2-1 to England, they're the ones who have had to do a lot of defending and goalkeeping, by the way. So yeah, make of that what you will. Statistics sometimes don't say the whole story, does it? Mexico have the bulk of the possession, bulk of the big chances. Total shots, passes, corners. Yet it is they who find themselves in a deficit. Football is hilarious sometimes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the second half is coming your way. I hope you can stay right here to Sporty FM, as we'll be bringing you all the exciting commentary on every single key moment that is set to happen. If you are very confident about how things turned out in the first half, you can head over to Sporty Bet and put on a pretty penny. Maybe you might turn it into something nice, you know. Shout-outs going out to the Mandem. I hope he's listening. I don't know if he's still on the premises. He was much earlier on. Eustace Ni Akwe, the man with deep insights into the game. He's got an eye like no other, seeing things that most miss. And he said it. He said England are going to take this one. It's going to be quite the battle, but England are going to take this one. Well, so far, so good for him. So far, so good. He's been right. But it is a game of two halves, and England have to seal the deal. Big second half coming up for the Mexicans. Big second half for England. Into the action we do go. I hand it back over to Victor Kwao as he takes you through the commentary for the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it locked right here to Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
So welcome back to the second half department of the game. In other words, the second half is upon us as the players are currently on the pitch. Some of the Mexican players having that big conversation as to how they can breach England's defensive line. One of them There's Raul Jimenez, who was having that tete-a-tete with Quanines a bit earlier on. But interesting, the England players are still inside the tunnel. That is a bit questionable. So Thomas Tuchel currently out, leading the England team out because the officials would have to go to the England dressing room to alert them that, look, you have overstayed and you need to find your way back onto the pitch. And they are making their way out, and you can see Jude Bellingham equally having that one-on-one conversation with some of his colleagues. And here they are, currently England players back onto the turf at the moment. Harry Kane just spinning around. But for the Mexican players, they are already out, and they've taken to their position. And it's going to be a very gruel next 45 minutes. And the big question is, do England have the capability to upset Mexico? Oh, it's getting ready for a quick substitution here. And guess who is coming in? It's Alvarez. And he puts on the captain's armband. And guess who is replacing? He's replacing the man with the captain's armband in the first half, Cesar Montes. So Cesar Montes is out for Alvarez to come in. And it's going to be a very, very big game in terms of the movement. Looking to also add his quality to his team as they chill at the moment. And you know that it's not the kind of result the coach is expecting. So Edson Alvarez is in. And he plays for Fenerbahce in Turkey. Just 28 years. And England will have to deal with this particular one. Looks like Montes picks a bit of knock in the first half, so he struggled to get back onto the pitch. But currently game is underway at the Stadio Azteca. 2,200 meters above sea level. And that is the ground that Mexico takes every opponent to and slaughter you. But just maybe England might survive this one. But here, ball currently on the edge of the English half. There's Romo with the first touch there, but couldn't control it. The ball rushes out of play. Jeriquanza, and once again, is the man who tried to deal with those defensive weakness. As we've done 46 minutes here on Sporty, 106.1. Accra, 102.5 Takrady, 91.3 Kumasi. And it's a long whip up front in chase in search of Harry Kane. They will not pick him, goes back to Rangel. He's got his men lining up at the left-hand side. Vasquez, Gallardo, and the rest. And it is the new man who came in, Alvarez, the skipper of the side. That's a very poor pass looking for Vasquez. The referee Fagani blows his whistle for it. Lots of activities around the Mexican 18-yard. Harry Kane just plants his right leg onto the leg of his opponent, Lira. And that reason why the referee blew his whistle. A little hot play. There's a very slow build-up in the second half. Ball out wide on the right-hand side. Mexico bringing it forward. There's a blast against the body of Mark Gehi. That's a touch from Mora, and it's brought all the way back. That is going to be Alvarez. Vasquez with a bit of jogging here onto his left-hand side. Finds Quanines looking for a back flick, did not work. Finds Anderson, England. Harry Kane beats his marker. Romo decides to have it. Harry Kane returns it back and picks Jeriquanza. It's a long whip out from Konsa, but couldn't get to any of the English players. Mexico have a touch there. Romo, Vasquez, Quanines, a long hit there, but it's blocked by Mark Gehi right inside the arc of the 18-yard, and the ball rushes out onto the left-hand side, and it's kept in play by Anthony Gordon. Brings it into midfield for Harry Kane to have. Not the best of pace from Harry Kane, but managed to find Jeriquanza at the right-hand side, who is trying to drift infield a bit. Sends the ball into the center cycle. It's spread on from Mark Gehi. And here's Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side, one-on-one with Sanchez, breaks into the box. Big 10, Hurricane, oh, just missed by every English player there, but Bukayo Saka runs onto the left-hand side, arrives so late, and Querinius ensures that the ball goes out there. But what a knockback from Nico O'Reilly, slot the ball through the legs of Gallardo and all of them. But there was no English player at the end to just tap it home there. And as the Mexicans, the L3 once again surviving that huge scare from the Three Lions. 48 minutes. Mexico 1. Oh, comes off the woodwork there from outside of the 18-yard. Hurricane. Quality hits. It's returned back, a bit of danger. Vasquez heads it away to the right-hand side of the penalty box. And the ball carrying rolls out. It's going to be a throw-in advantage. 49 minutes. Gordon picks the ball, throws it to Nico O'Reilly. Just giving a signal that it's going to be a long throw-in. Let's quickly take him infield. Declan Rice. Konsa. There's a touch. Pushes it onto his right-hand side for Bukayo Saka to pick. One-on-one with Gallardo. Brings it back to his teammate. Konsa will now have it. Keeps the ball on the linear line and finds his centre-back pair. McGahey, who lifts the ball for Gordon against Alvarado. Gordon goes for the pace. Beats Sanchez, but the curler into the channel, not the best. And later I'll pick it up for Mexico, left-hand side. Huge boots up front, but there's nobody in the Mexican set to pick it up. Rather finds Jordan Pickford, who have come into the middle of his half to pick the ball. Lets it for Anderson. England just exchanging passes at the moment. Ball is dropped to pick Konsa. Konsa runs out wide because Raul Jimenez is chasing it. Lifts the ball for Bukayo Saka. That's a big hit. And it will need Jordan Pickford to run across his penalty area, at least to keep the ball on the turf. Very lucky that the ball was not really on target. He swept up front in search of Godin. Alvarado not the right place to help deal with it, but Jude Bellingham once again runs into the traffic of green shirt. Bit 3 takes on the fourth man, beats him, breaks into the penalty box on the edge, goes to the ground. Referee Fagani will have none of that. An advantage stays with Mexico. 15 minutes. Round of 16 fixture between the L3 and the Three Lions. And at the moment, as England leading Mexico by 2-1 in this particular game. Mexico, Alvarado looking for options. It's a bit narrow at the moment, but here he finds one in Gallardo. And I guess who is sweeping the ball off the face of Gallardo. That's Jude Bellingham. Everywhere on the turf so far. Man of the match performance from the Real Madrid man. Long hit, looks for Anthony Gordon, picks him out wide on the left-hand side. One-on-one with Vasquez. That's a touch on him. The referee blows the whistle. England free kick out there, right on top of the 18-yard of Mexico. And the Mexican players complaining, the likes of Alvarez, Vasquez. But it looks like the referee Fagani is jogging to the sideline, just wondering what the Zali is going to be. And is approached by Edson Alvarez. Javier Aguirre throws his arm in despair. And watch this one again. It's rather Gerald Kwanzaa who rushes it into Gallardo. And so certainly there was, there's Gerald Kwanzaa with that touch on Gallardo. He just, in an attempt to get hold of the ball, went to the ground, and he just trips on the ground and used the stocks of his boots on the leg of Gallardo. And the referee going to have a look at that VAR for a possible red card. It is a 23-year-old Gerald Kwanzaa that is in a bit of trouble there. And if that decision is upheld, it means that England could be reduced to 10 men in this game. But let's see what the final decision is going to be. So the referee making the sign that after he checked the VAR, this will be his decision. And I'll be communicating the decision to you shortly. So it's going to be a red card for Gerald Kwanzaa, who came in for injured Jet Spence. And England have been slashed to 10 men in the second half, 53 minutes. And England would have to play the rest of the game with 10 men. What a moment, what a change to the complexity of this game. The battle for Leverkusen man will now have to head to the dressing room. The youngster shakes his head and he exchanged some pleasantries, so puts his palm into the palm of his teammates, and it looks like he's heading for the dressing room. But Thomas Tuchel sits in his chair and would have to quickly look at his tactics again. But the Mexico fans definitely enjoying a bit of everything that is happening at the moment. Sea of green set, white and red, and they are just looking on. But the big question, can they take advantage of that red card? They've got a free kick at the moment. Round of 16 here on Sports FM 106.1. Big chance there. Oh, that is defensive masterclass from Harry Kane. The skipper of the side has to rush to the ground there to prevent it from Gallardo, who went back to him to apologize. And Harry Kane is inside the penalty area. He's sitting on the floor. It was a Kelly ball into the channel there, and he was just ahead of Gallardo, who managed to get his legs to it, at least to prevent the ball from reaching Gallardo, who might probably have a touch, and he could be on goal. And he just rolls on the floor with Jude Bellingham currently just trying to convince the manager probably to go and have a look at the VAR, but I'm just wondering if the referee is going to listen to it. The referee at the end will not even take any of that. And that certainly was a big blow. And we are just having the opportunity to watch that big chance for England. That one that was taken by Nico O'Reilly that hits the left post of Rangel, who stretched beyond maximum limit but could not even reach it. Ball is out here. Quentin, legs up challenge. Jude Bellingham so strong for him. Get ahead of him. Bends his body. Quentin once again rush back into that challenge at the left hand side, very close to the halfway line. Ball currently is out. It's quickly taken. 55 minutes. England leading Mexico by 2-1 in this round of 16 tie. It's onto the far right hand side. It's brought back into the center circle. Lira. Vasquez has got Gallardo to his left hand side. Centrally, he's got the likes of Raul Jimenez. Quentin tries to get a bit close, receive the ball, and another poor decision. Over-ambitious hit from Quentin, looking for his 5th goal at this year's tournament. But that's a very feeble shot taken from outside of the 18-yard. And England is just preparing for a change here. And they'll sacrifice Bukayo Saka. And it's John Stones who is coming in place of Bukayo Saka. England looking to strengthen their defensive muscles. And John Stones, with his array of experience, runs onto the turf. Bukayo Saka walks to the bench and will try to greet his colleagues. Thomas Tuchel knocks his head because Harry Kane is back on his feet and game will wear on. 57 minutes in this round of 16 tie. Is England leading? Big trouble here. Rangel, there's a bit of charge. The referee forgot to point to the penalty spots there. England, and guess who is it again? Is a Newcastle man, Anthony Gordon, who tried to get a better of that particular ball, but it's Rangel who rushed out of his penalty area and made that final connection. So it was a long kick from Jordan Pickford, and Harry Kane, because he was marked by Edson, decided to lift the ball. The ball fell on the back of Alvarez, and Anthony Gordon was just trying to make that final touch, but Rangel ends up fouling his marker. Raul Ranguez, who played for Guadalajara in Mexico, and it's the man who just committed that huge blunder, 26 years. And the problems of Mexico have just been expounded. 58 minutes, and there's a bit of stoppage because the Mexican players are protesting. And you've got to really understand it. You've really got to understand it. It's rocking hard at the Estadio de Azteca. 87,523 voices. And the reason why England are rolling this morning, depending on where you're listening to us from across the globe. So it's a penalty for England. And it's Harry Kane who picks it up. Looking for a sixth goal of his year's World Cup finals. And don't forget that already he scored 5 goals, 2 against Croatia, 1 against Panama, and found the back of the net twice against the DRC after 75 minutes in that encounter. Broke the hearts of the Leopards. And here he is, looking to do that against one of the host nations, Mexico. Harry Kane picks the ball, approaches the penalty spot, drops it. Will have to pull his hose up a bit. Bends to the turf as he tries to get his ball well placed. Takes some few steps back. Gets his eyes. Very glued to the ball. As Rangel stays in the middle of the post. Tries to do a bit of antics. A bit of jumping. Harry Kane! Oh, smashing it onto the far right-hand side. Rangel read the movement, but it's just too late to prevent it from finding the back of the net. 60 minutes at the Estadio de Azteca. It's Mexico 1, England 3. And it looks like we're just having that game, Norway against England in the quarterfinals. Just maybe if it stays this way. And it is the English fans that are celebrating this one. And the army of green sets are currently in their seat, very mute. Asare Kane takes this one, so much power behind it. As he went onto his left-hand side. And he runs to celebrate. So far, so good for the English skipper. The Bayern Munich man. What a tournament is having. Very lethal tournament, scored in 2018, 2022. And he seems to be having a tournament of his life. And so far, so good for him because Mexico have just made a few substitutions. And I'll be telling you about those who have been brought in and those who have been equally taken off. And talking about Harry Kane, he was the golden boot winner back at the 2018 World Cup in Russia. And he scored more than 5 goals, so he scored 6 goals actually in that tournament to win it. And it's already equaled that one. Nico Raleigh, games is back. We are back. And ball is sent all the way back to Mark Gehi, who is very close to the halfway line. Managed to hack onto the ball. Finds Harry Kane and is brought down by the tackle of Romo. Harry Kane just caressing his right leg because there seems to be a bit of contact, which is huge from Alvarez. As the dignitaries, including FIFA president, watches this one on. 62 minutes. Round of 16 fixture between Mexico and England. The World Cup theater of dreams of Mexico. Estadio de Azteca, but it looks like the dream tonight or this morning. It's not just working to perfection, but here's Quenelles. Can he pull one back again? Gallardo, and it's blocked. It's blocked by John Stones, who came in for Bukayo Saka. Quickly taking Quenelles. 20 meters away. Lira, big chance, and it's palmed away by Jordan Pickford. Stays on the edge of the 18-yard at the right-hand side. Gallardo is turned in, comes off the body of Nico Raleigh, and finally it's picked up. Lucas Moura, the youngster. I also have been doing his bits. It's a big confrontation from Raul Jimenez, was looking to be on the end of it, but it's well read by Jordan Pickford, unless to just punch it away. And play resumes with England, currently trying to caress the ball. Harry Kane is back. Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham is a whip up front inside of a striker. And he picks Anthony Gordon 1-on-1 against Alvarez and Vasquez. And the Mexicans win possession. Leah has it. And sliced onto the left-hand side for Gallardo to pick. Pace Quañez ahead of him. Here's Raul Jimenez, who has been signed by a lot of English players, I just told you. And it's just been cleared away by John Stones. Oh, he's having a good game since being introduced by Thomas Tuchel. So talking about the substitution, so Mora is out with Santiago, Jimenez in, and Brian Gutierrez also coming in as well for Romo. Gallardo sends it across and is booted out. And so far, so good for the English fans who are really watching this game. No panic at all. And it doesn't even feel as if England have been reduced to 10 men after Gerard Kwanzaa was shown a red card. But they've still managed to keep their horse here. And it's corner kick taken by Alvarado. Looking for the head of Quañez, who don't meet him. It's brought back to Alvarado. Well, after taking a corner kick, runs to the right-hand side. Finds Quañez twisting and turning against Harry Kane. Sends the ball onto the right-hand side of the England press. Flex it over, looking for the head of Alvarez. Ball force again. Harry Kane would have a touch. And the whistle have been blown. No, the whistle was not blown. Quañez will have a touch now. Jude Bellingham fails to pick the broken pieces. And finally, the whistle have been blown by Fagani. 65 minutes in this round of 16 fixture. It's England 3, Mexico 1. And England reduced to 10 men. So here's the moment Jude Bellingham was confronted. And the moment Harry Kane also with a foot-up challenge against Brian Gutierrez. And they missed that. Mexico be awarded a free kick as a result of that challenge. And it's just 33 yards out. Jordan Pickford looks on. Looks a bit fragile. It's Alvarez will complain to the referee. Harry Kane also tries to get into the fray. Will tell the referee not to mind. It's Alvarez. Fagani will tell him to go back and pick his spot. There's a potential penalty check. And referee Fagani doing a lot of running this time around. And it's going to have a look at the VAR. The England players absolutely fascinated by the decision of the referee. And the Mexican players are excited. So I was just telling you about that foot-up challenge from Harry Kane on Brian Gutierrez. And that is what the referee is going to have a look at. So the ball was up in the air and Harry Kane decides to retrieve that ball. And in the process of trying to retrieve the ball, he knocks the leg of Brian Gutierrez, who was already with his legs out to get a touch of that one. So there was a clutch from behind. And it was inside the 18-yard. Raising the referee is going to have a review. So the review is over. And what is going to be the decision of the referee? Well, we'll have to wait to see what Azali is speaking about. And just reminding, this is a 10th meeting between these two sides. And it means that Mexico will now have the advantage to lessen their deficit. So it's a penalty taken. And it's Raul Jimenez who is walking to the ball. And Mexico with another big opportunity to cut down the scoreline of this encounter so far here. And let's see what Raul Jimenez will do. He picks the ball, kicks the ball, approaches the England penalty area. Now it's already got a lot of controversies around it because so many of the English players are just lurking around. And referee Fagani, furious at the moment, would have to dip his hand into his pocket and flash it out a yellow card to Harry Kane. Emotions are plenty in this game. World Cup sounds on Sporty 106.1 Accra, 102.5 tackle and 91.3 Kumasi as Raul Jimenez will take this penalty. Goes back into the arc of the 18-yard with his 2 hands to his waist. Watches the ball. Jordan Pickford just jogging inside his goal. On the goal line. A bit of jogging. Pickford, and it is in from Raul Jimenez, who lessens Mexico's deficit. Goes the right way. Jordan Pickford equally went that direction, but he arrives a bit late to have a touch and prevent it from entering the back of the net. And it is celebration from the fans, the Mexican fans. Inside the Estadio de Azteca, 69 minutes. It's Mexico 2, England 3. What a game. We've got a matchup here. They slice it it's a grounder. Not so much height on it. Kept it a bit low to the ground. Just tried to stretch Jordan Pickford to it. And he get a better of the English Premier League goalkeeper. Who plays for Everton. He has a bit of trouble looming here. And the problem is that England are not having the same number of men as Mexico, who must take that advantage of that numerical advantage. And here they have it. Guterres brings it back. Referee Fagani once again put the whistle to his mouth because there's an English player that lies on the turf. Out wide at the far right hand side. And that certainly is it's Nico O'Reilly. Oh, it's on the turf. Plays for Manchester City, one of the youngest members of this Thomas Tuchel side, 21 years. And he's been trusted with the left back position in this tournament. And the tall man Raul Jimenez celebrates after scoring. And some of the fans equally having their way to get to the stadium with some masks on. If you're a fan of the WWE, you know that Rey Mysterio normally puts on that mask. So he has that mask on, but a lot of emotions pouring here. And another Mexican player. Well, he's shown a yellow card, looks to be Sanchez. Let's complain to the referee. So Jorge Sanchez got into the book of the referee. Looks to be an elbow challenge there, refuting it that he equally received an elbow from Nico O'Reilly. 71 minutes. And he's just telling his colleagues to perhaps have a look at the VAR. There's a field capacity, sea of green, white and red set, the L3, which means 3 colors, red. And tonight, they are not really backing down as we head for another hydration break in this game. And so far, so good for the 3 Lions, who are looking a bit lackadaisical in the game. But at least he hangs on to that lead. We've seen 2 penalties so far in this particular matchup between these 2 countries. And earlier on we saw a penalty for Brazil that was mixed. Well, it is a day of a penalty galore as far as is the last 48 hours are concerned. And here are some of the second half statistics for you. It's been Mexico showmanship in the second half as well, leading with the possession with 52%, with just 48 for the 3 Lions. And of course, it's a bit understandable. They've been cut to 10 men. And they've created 1 big chance apiece with total shot. And so Mexico leading that one with 3 and just 2 for England. 0 goalkeeper saves so far in this particular half. Unless if you ask me, I'll tell you that England, despite reduced, they have not really shown any signs of wariness in this particular game. But just reminding you that football fans, the biggest tournament in the world is here, and so are the biggest deal from Sinclair Tech. From July 13th to July 25th to 26th, enjoy amazing discount on Apple product, Androids, laptop, gaming consoles and home appliances, accessories, and much more. Looking to upgrade your iPhone, Android device, or get a new MacBook? Grab a PlayStation or refresh your home with quality appliances. This is the perfect time to shop and save. Visit Sinclair Tech today and take advantage of our special World Cup discount sales. Quality products, unbeatable prices, and great customer service all in one place. Visit us today at Asare, close to School Junction, or just search Sinclair Tech on Google Map. Or you can call or WhatsApp us on 054 946 2550. I take the number again, 054 946 2550. Or follow Sinclair Tech _ on all social media. Sinclair Tech, your trusted destination for technology and electronics. Sinclair Tech elevates your life. All right, 74 minutes, and we seem to be having a substitution from Thomas Tuchel. And he's bringing on Dan Ben. Dan Ben equally plays for Newcastle. And it's time for the likes of Anderson and Nico O'Reilly to have a bit of shower. As Jed Spence gets to be thrown into this game with just 16 minutes left on the clock. Well, so game is back in recession, and it's Gallardo with a touchback to Sanchez, Vasquez, and it's into Alvarez. Back to Vasquez with a big walk central to England's goal post, but he dropped his shoulder a bit, brings it to the left-hand side for Gallardo to pick. 35 years out, Lira goes to Alvarez, back to Lira. Hurricane tracking it. Jude Bellingham as well. It's onto the right-hand side. It's sent across. Raul Jimenez looking for that. His partner down the far right-hand side. And there's a boot up front. There's Jude Bellingham with that long whip. 75 minutes. It's England 3, Mexico 2. In this round of 16 fixture live here on Sporty FM 106.1 Accra, 102.5 Takrady, 91.3 Kumasi. As Gallardo with a long drive into the penalty area of England. Miscommunication between Jordan Pickford and his John Stones, but they managed to survive the scare. Alvarez. Lira changes pace of play to the left-hand side for Gallardo to pick 101 now. With Konsa. Bellingham whips it out of the channel. Ball falls into the center cycle. Gets onto the path of Rangel, who is out of his sticks. Lifts the ball for his skipper, Alvarez, on the circumference of the center cycle. Goes beyond it. Drops his shoulder. Finds Vasquez into the path of Gallardo at the left-hand side. Approaching the 18-yard, sensing the killer. But the way still have been blown. England survives the scare. And we've done 76 minutes. And what a game we're having so far between these two powerhouses. And talking about these two nations, all-time World Cup scorers, Gary Lineker with 10 for England back in 1986 and 1990. And Mexico's own being Javier Hernandez with 4 goals across 3 tournaments, 2010, 2014, 2018. As Gallardo, Quañones. Here's Vasquez. 77 minutes. Alvarez into Lira. 32 yards in the half of England. Changes pace of play onto the left-hand side. Guterres blasts it against the body of Konsa. Chases it again. Managed to keep it on the turf. Very diagonal. Shifts it over this time around, but it's headed away by John Stones. Ball rushed out. Crosses the halfway line. Back into the territory of Mexico. And England are just sitting on the fence at the moment and soaking in all the pressure. Edson Alvarez changes pace of play. Finds Gallardo. 101 tries to approach the 18-yard. Sends the killer. Looking for the head of Raul Jimenez. But again, Jet Spence, the newcomer, managed to deal with that menace. It was curved around England's defense and only for the Tottenham Hotspur man to come across it. And he averts the danger. As Mexico lines up another substitution. And Sanchez will be sacrificed because they need to strengthen their front line. And it's Fidalgo who comes in.
This is Sporty FM.
As Mexico prepares to take that corner kick, this time around from the far right hand side. As Fidalgo have been thrown into the game. Well, let's see what happens. This corner kick is well picked by Jordan Pickford, who have a touch to it. And it was delivered into the last post there, but they would have to rush in order to take it off the head. Aurel Jimenez there means another corner kick looming. Short one taken, finds Gallardo on the leg of Gutierrez. John Stone stands and in pace play. It means that Mexico do have another corner kick. 79 minutes. Round of 16 between the Three Lions and the L3. And it's 2-3. There seems to be another discussion between the Fagani and those in the VAR room. The VAR check is over. And Mexico proceed with this corner kick. Gallardo just across the face of goal there. And it's Edson Alvarez with a textbook header. Just fails to get it on target. And the ball just bounces off the turf. Once we've done 79 minutes. Here on Sporty FM 106.1 Accra. And the winner of this particular tie gets to face Norway in the quarterfinal. Already there are some quarterfinal fixtures already lined up for you. France versus Morocco. The winner of Portugal and Spain will take on the winner of USA and Belgium at the Sophie Stadium. Whilst on Saturday, July 11th, it will be either England versus Norway. One of them will be meeting each other. And Saturday, July 11th as well, the winner of Argentina versus Egypt will take on the winner versus Switzerland and Colombia at Kansas City, where Ghana was beaten. So it's time for Quenyes to say goodbye to his teammate as they throw in Martinez. Martinez has been thrown into the game by Javi Agres, who needs that quick equalizer. Guillermo Martinez. Vasquez will have a touch. As Mexico currently just exchanging pass. Oh, that's a great touch there from the man who just carried Santiago Jimenez. Guess what? It was delivered into the penalty area of England. And Jimenez connected it on the volley, but fails to keep the ball below the crossbar. The touch just having because of the altitude. 81 minutes. England is hanging on to that slim margin. As Mexico decides to carry the ball from the back again, regroup. There's the man in the edge set for them, who Alvaro Fidalgo, who plays for Real Betis in the Spanish La Liga. And the ball currently at the far right hand side is another delivery into the channel, straight onto the face of Jordan Pickford. That was a header from Alvarado. And those are the men you need to keep your eyes on at the moment. Having some sort of quick impact since coming in into this game so far. 82 minutes, just 8 minutes left. And so far so good. And you're still listening on the Voice of Sport. This is Ghana's biggest sports station, bringing you the biggest tournament. As Gallardo drifts the ball into the back of the 18-yard. Nobody's stopping Martinez there, and it's finally cleared of danger. There's a bit of chase for Edson Alvarez, the skipper of the side. Pushes the ball beyond the halfway line from the far right-hand side. Tries to drift infield. Lifts the ball for Vasquez. Slice it for Martinez to pick. And they will have to go this time around from the left flank. Gallardo, left side of the 18-yard of England. Consa protests. Says that the ball ricochets off Gallardo after it came off him. Yao Jimenez with his black band. Jordan Pickford trying to arrange his wall. Harry Kane also just jogging across the 18-yard to get himself back into position in order to help with that defensive duty. And it was just Spence who went to the ground earlier on to clear that ball off the face of Yao Jimenez, else England would have been some big trouble. What a game we've seen so far. So in terms of the World Cup records, but here is England once again trying to pour men for it. Rushes and clatters into one of Vasquez. That was Jude Bellingham. Raul Jimenez looks to have gotten himself into a bit of trouble there, coming off the challenge of Konsa. And England centre-back stays on the turf, looking for a bit of attention. Ezri Konsa, who plays for Aston Villa. As Declan Rice goes behind that ball. 84 minutes at the Estadio de Azteca. It's England 3, Mexico 2. And what a game we're witnessing this morning. It's a free kick. 40 yards in, is delivered into the channel. Kane arrives a bit late. Yao Jimenez couldn't pick it. Martinez will have a touch. Bellingham wins it. Jacks the ball to the left-hand side. Lifts it for Jet Spence. Curls it from inside of his boot and straight into the arms of Rangel. He was possessing inside the penalty area. Picks it up. Quickly throws it out to Gallardo. Goldin couldn't have a touch. It's brought into the center cycle. Alvarado one-on-one with Jet Spence. Sensing the killer. And Declan Rice once again falling back to help with defensive duties. Running across the 18-yard, brings it back a bit. McGahey trash it up front. And there's nobody in the English here to hack onto it. 85 minutes. England with just 5 minutes to hang onto their slim lead, barring additional time. As Mexico brings it up, Gallardo once again having fetched. He's seen most of the ball in this particular half. Alvaro Fidalgo, and it is Pickford who magnifies himself to prevent that one. Fidalgo once again. 24 years old, bends the ball onto the edge of the 18-yard. Picks Alvarado, one-on-one with Jet Spence, drops the ball. Another crossing. Raul Martinez. Jude Bellingham picks the broken pieces from the arc of the 18-yard. Goes long, but is saved by the whistle. 86 minutes, and what an encounter we've seen so far from these two teams. We'll talk about England World Cup appearances this year, making it 16 for them. With the first appearance back in 1950. And since then, they've been very present. It's been a consistent appearance for them, right from 1998, I beg your pardon, from 1998, they returned to the world stage in 2002, June 26, when Germany hosted it. They were very present. 2010 South Africa, what a World Cup on African soil. And again, they failed to reach anywhere close to the semi-final. And their best so far as the World Cup is concerned, has been that win back in 1966. 60 years, and England is searching for a record second win of this converted prize. 87 minutes. Alvarez goes the left way of the England 18-yard until they got it, tracking it. Alvarado will face a challenge from Jet Spence, who is also wearing the jersey number 25. So it's a battle of the men in the 25 jersey. Lira. Alvarado sensing the killer into the channel. Harry Kane goes to the ground. Avoid danger. There's another round. Yao Martinez. Harry Kane. Every place on a 50-50 advantage. Harry Kane took his time a bit because he was waiting for the whistle the referee, but the referee with a hand signal. Big chance there. McGarry heads it away. Ball sits inside England's 18-yard. It's currently out at the right-hand side. 88 minutes. Raul Jimenez looking for that perfect equalizer, which seems not to be coming. They sliced across England half once again. Long whip! Oh, straight into the waiting arms of Jordan Pickford. What a rocket of a hit there coming off the boot of Alvaro Fidalgo, the Real Betis man. Straight into the middle. And Pickford picks it up. So far, so good. For a country that boasts of one of the most impressive leagues across the world, the English Premier League. And even the man currently who picks up the ball, Raul Jimenez, plays in that league, so he knows the quality of the kind of opposition he's facing this morning. As Javi Aguirre once again will complains about time wasting. And England lines up another change. Looks to be game over for Harry Kane as Morgan Rogers will be thrown into this game. 89 minutes. And Kane is heading for the bench. Morgan Rogers comes in. And he gets to enjoy a few seconds left of normal time and the time that the referee will add it on. Morgan Rogers plays for Aston Villa as well, 23 years. He got a very good height. And that's where you need Mexican defense to be very wary, as Harry Kane pushing his man on the far right hand side, and it's a foul taken against him. Alvarez, and here's Fidalgo, crosses the halfway line into Larry. It's onto the far right hand side. Alvarado, 1-on-1 with Jess Pence. Anthony Godin also tracking it. There's a long whip there. A bit of miscommunication between Konsa and the goalkeeper, but finally it's Jordan Pickford who managed to gobble the ball in the air, picks it off the head of John Stones, who was looking to nod it away. So we're doing as many as 11 minutes of additional time. That's very huge. And in terms of attempts so far at goal, it's been 15 for Mexico, 5 for England. And out of that, it's a porous one for Mexico. Out of the 15 attempts, just 5 have been on target. And for England, 5 attempts and 4 have been on target. So in terms of percentage, you can say almost 95% for England so far in this game. Reason why they are leading in this game by 3-2. Mexico brings it to the left-hand side for Gallardo to pick. Konsa assist on it. It's brought back to Fidalgo. Back to Gallardo on the left-hand side. Finally hits it against the body of Konsa. And the ball rolls out. It's going to be L3 corner kick. Piling all the pressure at the moment. The fans up on their feet. Most of them with their hands to their head. Some of them with a very drained face. Looks like a few tears might be falling off their cheek. But here's Gutierrez with that delivery. Jordan Pickford fists it away, stays with Fidalgo. Lear. And it's going to be Gutierrez who swung that one into the far post, but he loses everybody. And he was looking to pick the likes of Raul Jimenez, but not pick him in the process. We've just done 2 minutes of the 11 minute that have been added so far at the Stadio de Azteca. Round of 16 fixture. What a game we're witnessing. And it's England's manager Thomas Tuchel who watches on. Might be a bit impressed in this particular half with the way his team have been able to held on so far after going down. Oh, losing one man. We'll talk about Thomas Tuchel. Appointed back in January 2025. Former Chelsea manager, Paris Saint-Germain, and Bayern Munich manager as well. Won a Champions League in 2021 with Chelsea. The first non-British manager to lead an England team to achieve that feat. But here's a long one because Rangel was out of his post there, and it was laced from outside of the center cycle from Jude Bellingham. Fails to beat Rangel in between the two sticks. Got the opportunity to start this game ahead of the very, very experienced Guillermo Ochoa, who's been kept out of this World Cup. As Gallardo breaks onto the edge of 18, it's another lovely swing into the channel. This time around, very long and crosses the halfway line at a very far corner kick side. And Javier Guarez, very, very, very furious at the moment. The Mexican fans knows it could be their last game of this tournament with the way things are currently panning out. Margay edging his men to go out because Jordan Pickford have just launched the deep one to the far right hand side in search of Jude Bellingham. That looks to have come off the back of Jude Bellingham, and Thomas Krugel will not believe it. And it's just edging his men that you've got a few minutes left. Play your heart out. 4 minutes of the 11 minutes that have been added has been crossed. We just got roughly 6 minutes. Mexico trying to come forward with it from the right inside of the England half. There's going to be a curler into the channel again in search of Raul Jimenez, but the ball just eludes everybody, not even the right back. Gallardo will be close to it. And it's another breathing space for the England defensive line. Jesus Gallardo plays for Deportivo Toluca. And the Mexico fans are watching on. Harry Kane opens his mouth and watches on from the bench. As Rangel picks the ball quickly, throws it out of his 18-yard, finds Alvarez. Roger Morgan approaching, but Antonio Gordon have a bit into it because Mexico is trying to use the middle. It's dropped. Here's Fildago once again sending a long ball into the 18-yard. Received on his chest on the edge of the 18 and decides to go for the back flick, but again it's been stopped by one of the English players. Rangel will have to run out wide onto the right-hand side to ensure he brings the ball back into the half of England to pile pressure on the Three Lions. There's Fildago, looks for Gallardo down the left-hand side. Konsa approaching, unless to defend this one. But again, the space between the players is so wide that the Mexicans have the luxury to exchange the pass without any struggles at all. It's round of 16 fixture between England and Mexico. 6 minutes of the 11 minutes that have been added have been done at the Estadio de Azteca. The dreaded ground of the Mexicans, and tonight, or this morning, it has woken up to the reality of the World Cup. So there's Mexico, far right hand side, Alvarado, and trying to win the challenge of Antonio Gordon, brings it into the central position for Fildago to pick. Elson Alvarez changing direction of play to the left hand side for Gallardo to pick 1-on-1 with Konsa. Get close on the edge of the 18-yard. Final touch there from Raul Jimenez. And it just makes it way beyond the goal line once again. And again, Mexico with lots of opportunity to get themselves back into the tie. But they've been rocked with finishing troubles. As Declan Rice currently wearing the captain's armband because Harry Kane have been sapped off. Jude Bellingham hit it against the body of Gallardo. That's Roger Morges. And it's going to be a throw-in to be taken. And just telling you that in this last minutes, it looks like the sale of the game have been dwindled a bit, because both teams are trying to be very, very tactical. Vasquez rushed onto the assistant referee too, and it's going to give me a bit of warning. So the assistant referee too, assistant referee in this game, that's Gabriel Chade, also of Argentina. And so far he's had a very good tournament together with the fourth official, Ismail Elfat of the United States. And they've had a very good game so far. England, with a lot of men very close to the bar line. It's currently brought all the way back to Jordan Pickford on the edge of his 18-yard. Sends a long one up front, looking for Morgan Rogers. Falls onto the path of Rangel, just 13 meters in his own half. And it's Johan Vasquez who got himself booked for that challenge. Challenging the decision of the referee. But Mexico comes forward here. Another defensive massacre from Yet Pence. Went onto the ground to strip them off the face of Alvarado. And looks like he might have picked up a knock in the process of trying to do that. Struggling with a bit of muscle situation. Reason he didn't really start the game. England with 2 minutes left to get into the quarterfinal. And their players are currently up on their feet. The likes of Harry Kane up on their feet. John Dunn had the same. Brentford also up on his feet. And Jordan Pickford once again swamps the ball in this area. And he goes to the ground to waste a few seconds. There's a long drive up front. Spilling the ball. Jude Bellingham once again will acknowledge the fact that he could have done better. So Jordan Henderson gets himself booked. Have not touched the ball, but from outside of the field. Maybe a bit of occurrences here. Mexico, last opportunity. John Stones whips it out front to the left-hand side. Just a few seconds left. Can England hand on? That is a big question. Vasquez picks it up. Finds Edson Alvarez. Crosses the halfway line. Changes pace of play. Diagonal hits. Picks Gallardo. Constant approaches. Is brought infield by Gallardo. Finds Phil Dago. Lira. Far right-hand side. Pick Alvarado, 1-on-1 with Just Pence. Sends it to Keller, into the channel. Raul Jimenez, force here, and it's hammered away. John Stones with that life wire. Just 22 seconds left in this game. And England will be into the quarterfinal. Lira, Alvarado. It's brought back to Lira. Force inside it. Midfield position, just 33 years out. A good test. Twisting and turning. Alvarado just spins. Another Keller. Could this be the perfect moment? Oh, just agonizing miss there. And it's Raul Jimenez, who was so close there, but the experience of John Stones tips it away. That would have been a very bizarre end to this game for the English fans. But it's Mexico who have merited a corner kick from that menace. This could be the last opportunity to get themselves back into the game. Left wide, deep. Ball stays. Ground that comes off. McGahey. Another one. And it's off the body of John Stones. The England players protesting. The referee needs to take a look at his watch. Another corner kick have been conceded. Is Estadio de Azteca rocking hard, but this time to the voices of the English fans. And the home fans absolutely mute at this juncture. Last one, sir, and it's fist away by Jordan Pickford. There it is, it's over. England into the quarterfinals. Jude Bellingham with a brace. Harry Kane with a finish by the penalty spot. Julian Nunes with a first half consolation, but it's just not enough. Not just enough to keep the L3 in this World Cup, and that certainly is the end of the road for them. The story for Mexico ends in defeat, but for the Three Lions, they smile on into the quarterfinal, and they've got a date with Norway. And they will encourage themselves after the hard work. And once again, very, very thankful that you really Cats awake with us here on Sporty FM 106.1 Accra, 102.5 Takrady, and 91.3 Kumasi to enjoy this game all the way from the altitude of the Stadio de Azteca. But don't go anywhere because Westin Michaels will be here for the full-time analysis for you to enjoy this particular one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, history at the Azteca. Well, England came, England conquered, England fought and made sure they went home with the 3 points, and that is what has been the difference today. Harry Kane's penalty sees England off to the next round. What a game this one has been, man. We're finally weaving out a lot of the remaining teams, and of course into the quarterfinals we go. England now have a date with Norway. France have a date with Morocco. And of course, Portugal, Spain, USA, Belgium. That one will be coming up. You do know that one's going to be a cracker as well. Argentina, Egypt also coming up, as well as Switzerland, Colombia. You look out for some of these very, very key games. But teams already through to the quarterfinals. Morocco after they beat Canada. France after they beat Paraguay. And Norway after they beat Brazil. And of course, count England in. There's 4 of the 8 remaining. Into the Azteca night, they celebrate. As you can see on your screens right there, it's going to be a party in England. All right. Sure, all the bars will remain open and everybody will be spilling their club beer. But before you do that, with that refreshing taste and celebrate alongside England, check underneath the crown cork. You could easily and instantly win a brand new club beer jersey absolutely free. Whether you're cheering with the boys, watching at your favorite spot, or repping your team in style, Club Beer has got you covered. So grab your club beer today, check under the crown cork, and you could be the next winner. Follow Club Beer social media pages for more details and updates. Drink responsibly. Now, for a sale for persons under the age of 18 years, not recommended for pregnant women either. This ad is FDA approved. What a night right there for the Brits as they book their historic win at the Azteca. The Mexicans don't lose there often. They did tonight. Thanks to the heroics of Jude Bellingham, his 102nd brace. And of course, the man them, Harry Kane from the spot. The Mexican came roaring back, but it wasn't enough, even though they had a 11-man advantage. A one-man advantage to England's 10. Unfortunately, they weren't able to seal the deal. That is how football works sometimes. The better team won, if you ask me, in my opinion. On these biggest stages right here, make sure you join us for some thrilling World Cup coverages, expert analysis, etc. across the countries. We have giveaways, unforgettable viewing parties at select locations across the country. Whether you are cheering for the Ghana Black Stars, well, we were cheering for them, they're out. But when you're cheering for your other international teams that you do support, or simply enjoying a beautiful game, Sporty FM is your home for all of the World Cup. The exciting World Cup experience is proudly brought to you by our valued partners, Coca-Cola, Feel It All, Pepsodent, Do the Two, Brush Day and Night, Club Beer, cheers to our Chale and Didi Jollof, Didi Nasam Brabium, Handy Farms, more than a farm from Ghana's mango, elevated from farm to the table. European Union are also on board with this one, supporting community engagements and youth participation through sports. Don't miss our World Cup viewing parties where fans will gather to watch the biggest live events on giant screens, enjoy music, entertainment, everything in between. Keep listening to Sporty FM for updates and our viewing party venues as well, match schedules, promotions, opportunities to win amazing prizes. The FIFA World Cup 2026 on Sporty FM, the voice of sport. Yes, Ghana's biggest sports station, covering the world's greatest game. Sporty FM, voice of sport. Make sure you're always in tune with what we're doing here. The Mexicans put up a huge resolve, and they were able to, try their best, but their best was not good enough today. Sweat, passion, and fierce resolve to never back down is what they tried to show, but Charlie, whenever it gets intense, you know you have no choice but to rise to the occasion. With passion, vim, and with 72-hour protection, Rexona gives you the chance to fight for what is yours on and off the field. So choose Rexona every single day, man. Choose protection that moves with you every single time. It is 3:11, which means that it's time for you to brush your teeth before you go to sleep after that thriller of a game, right? In football, you don't reach the World Cup finals without discipline. And when it comes to your smile, the rules are still the same. World-class defense, all right? World-class defense isn't built in a day. It's built by brushing morning and night, with World Cup games at dawn and midnight, as you can tell. Without the right defense, germs will score in your mouth. That's why Pepsodent brings you the limited edition World Cup toothpaste. You choose the variants: fresh breath for all-day confidence, antibacterial to fight germs, and plaque removal for a cleaner, stronger smile. Make sure that you are there and up to date. Get the Pepsodent World Cup edition today, available at supermarkets and shops nationwide. The World Cup season, Pepsodent says, when it comes to your oral health, find a World Cup and make sure you take it seriously. Do the two. Brush before you go to bed tonight. Remember, with Pepsodent. If you're out there looking for a way to get some discount deals, now is the time. Let me tell you why, man. From June 13th to July 25th, 2025, enjoy amazing discounts on Apple products, Androids, laptops, gaming consoles, home appliances, accessories, and more. Looking for an upgrade for your iPhone, Android device, get a MacBook, grab a PlayStation, you know, those of you who are gamers out there, refresh your home with quality appliances. This is the perfect time to shop and save. Visit Sinclair Tech today and take advantage of our special World Cup discount sales, quality products, unbeatable prices, and great customer service all in one place. Call or WhatsApp us today now on 0549 462 550. Simple as that. Follow us on social media at Sinclair Tech _. Simple as that. Sinclair Tech is your trusted destination for technology and electronics, and Sinclair Tech will definitely change your life. What a game this one has been, man. We'll be back again today to cover the rest of the games that are set to come up. France, remember, we'll be playing Morocco in the quarterfinals, and we have Norway and England, a legendary battle of historic proportions. You know how that one goes down, especially those of you who watch a lot of Vikings, a lot of these, cinematic representations of history. You would know a lot of history about England and Norway. They have a very storied history and a very linked past. So we'll definitely catch you on that one. Harry Kane versus Haaland. We look forward to that one. But before anything, if you're looking for a place to catch all the FIFA World Cup action, then you need to be at the Coca-Cola Football Village at Good Park, Accra Mall. Watch all your favorite matches live with fellow fans. Enjoy high-energy vibes, music, entertainment. Dive into interactive fan zones and fun experiences. And, of course, you can also stand a chance to win some exciting giveaways, from epic watch parties to unforgettable match day energy. This is where Ghana comes together to celebrate the beautiful game. So bring your crew, bring the energy, and pull up to the Coca-Cola Fan Park, because the world Cup is here. You don't just watch it, you feel it all. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the coverage of the England versus Mexico game, in which Mexican fans, players, and the entire Azteca are in tears tonight as the British came and the British conquered again. Unfortunately for the Mexicans, they would have to live with this, deal with this, and all's well that ends well for the British. So congratulations to England. They march on. Mexico stay home. At least they don't have to go home. They stayed home. But yes, this one has ended 3-2 in favor of England. A well-fought battle, hard-fought battle. But in the end has justified the means here in terms of England's resolve. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we close off the game. Make sure you catch us right here on Sporty FM for more coverage of the World Cup. And yes, we'll continue to bring you the best of the very best on Ghana's biggest sports station, Sporty FM, the voice of sport. Good night.